Today, God declares that He will liberate you from the grip of stress and anxiety. Anxiety and apprehension are not inherent flaws in your personality that are beyond your control. Anxiety and apprehension are adversaries of belief that deprive you of the assurance and lead your life in undesirable directions. I have bestowed upon you complete ability and authority to dismantle the influence of fear, even over multiple generations in your own life. Therefore, on this day, your Father encourages you to be strong and courageous. You possess the capability to overcome the problems that lie ahead of you. I will remain by your side during the intense conflict, and I will not retreat or withhold my power and favor from you. I will enable you to perceive and comprehend my thoughts and perceive the actual and precise depiction of your surroundings through my perspective. The Father states that there are more individuals supporting you in the conflict than against you. I am your divine banner, Jehovah Nissi. I represent authority and power, and my immense physical might is becoming evident within you. Overcome your state of immobility and understand that this is your opportune moment, and you will not be deprived of the laurel wreath of victory. The divine proclamation declares that the agony endured upon the crucifixion was sufficient. It was sufficient to restore your physical well-being. It was sufficient to liberate your mind. The crucifixion, as experienced by the Father, signifies that it was sufficient, rendering it unnecessary for you to subject yourself to self-inflicted anguish. The Father asserts that He does not prioritize guilt. Guilt is irrelevant in your life when considering the shed blood of Calvary. Pardon. Release your grip. Release. Free yourself from the constraints of your past. Pardon the imperfections in your character and individuality that do not meet the standards of my divine purity. Let me dress you in my own essence and guide you towards achieving perfection. Achieving perfection is a feasible objective. Maturation within me is both an actuality and a potentiality. I have arranged for you to adopt my thoughts and embrace my emotions. Accept the proposition of my heart, as declared by the Father. Embrace your freedom from the recurring letdowns inherent in your own human disposition. I will not abandon you in your current location. I am the immutable deity, just as I proclaimed in my scripture. I am the immutable deity, the Lord thy God. However, I am constantly striving to bring about transformation in you, molding you to resemble my own likeness and imprinting the divine qualities onto your life and character. I will ensure that you do not remain in your current location. I will liberate you from the influences of the external world, the desires of the physical body, and the negative forces that oppose you. Additionally, I will free you from your own feelings of inadequacy and lack of success. Accept the deliverance as a comprehensive package today, as I declare, says the Father. According to God's message today, you possess the power to reject and disregard the actions of the adversary. He wants to create the impression that he is capable of operating autonomously, going against my will and disregarding your best interests, but in reality, he is not. The adversary is actively engaged in pursuing his objectives, which involve promoting ignorance and causing suffering. However, I have furnished you with the tools and weapons of my arsenal. Adorn yourself with the protective covering of the luminous radiance that emanates from my majestic seat. It is crucial for you to comprehend that the responsibility to take action lies with you. To resist the enemy, it is necessary to engage in actions, use appropriate language, and adopt the right attitudes. Now is the moment to firmly place your heel upon the head of your adversaries. Otherwise, he would act without fear of punishment and exert every endeavor to trick you into believing that you are incapable of preventing him. The Father has equipped you with weapons. I have rendered you invulnerable to the attacks of the malevolent entity, but it is imperative that you take decisive action through your behavior, speech, and mindset. By doing so, you are equipping yourself with the tools of my armor and thwarting every plan of the enemy. I have placed you in your existence just as I placed Adam in the garden. You possess a level of power and control that extends beyond your current awareness. The celestial beings wielding fiery blades are prepared and awaiting your explicit words of permission. Are you prepared for transformation? Are you prepared to experience enhanced liberty and see the eradication of the oppressive forces that bind your loved ones? At this moment, the present time belongs to you, and whatever words or actions you express will have the same level of effectiveness as if I had said or done them. The Father encourages you to be courageous, and as you do so, your remarkable achievements will be celebrated in the celestial realm, and you will get the benefits of my divine splendor. According to divine proclamation, it is now your designated and unchangeable moment and period to achieve a significant advancement in obtaining what you have been longing and passionately desiring. This is the current season, the precise and favorable timing. Refrain from examining or approving the report of the circumstance or situation. I will guide you from the visible to the invisible, as it is in the latter where my promise is fulfilled and becomes tangible and evident in your life. Before the video continues, I request you to help by super thanks. The Father declares that this is the current moment. I urge you to rouse yourself from the deceptive perception of what appears to be and instead comprehend and dedicate yourself to what truly exists. I bestowed upon Abraham the title of father of many nations long before the birth of Isaac. My proclamation to Abram was, I have appointed you as the progenitor of numerous nations. Just as I made this announcement to Abraham, I also declare it to you. You are the favored recipient of your Father's blessings. You are the empowered offspring endowed by my authority and triumphing over every hindrance. Be aware of this fact, as spoken by the Father, and have faith in me for the timely and evident fulfillment of my complete promise in your life. The attainment of your redemption is closer than your initial perception. Objects in the natural world may appear closer than they actually are because to the rapid acceleration of divine intervention in response to your prayers and requests. By my hand, I assure you that this is your part and promise today, declares the Father. Today, embrace God's love as the predominant influence in your life, surpassing any other emotions or feelings. While people may direct their energies in negative ways towards you and each other, prioritize embracing my love as the guiding principle in your life. Your demeanor and disposition towards people serve as a prognostic indicator of what the future holds for you. Showing affection towards others elicits a loving reaction from me. The Father asserts that his love is unwavering and absolute, but it is your love that triggers his generosity in your circumstances. Oftentimes, the solutions you are looking for are readily available but fail to materialize due to a lackluster affectionate response towards people. The underlying reality of the statement, "Love never fails," is that love is consistently available, but you may not always witness the outcomes that love is capable of generating. Choosing not to show affection towards others leads to neglecting the compassion that you would otherwise receive. The Father states that numerous answers to prayer remain unclaimed due to the failure of men and women to adequately demonstrate love towards individuals in their vicinity. Take advantage of the resources I have provided for you today. The abundance of blessings that love possesses is within close proximity to you and not distant. I will alleviate all burdens and hardships from you as you demonstrate the act of expressing love, especially towards those who are unkind and undeserved. According to God's message today, He has not summoned you to offer your body for burning or to make an exceptional sacrifice that beyond your capabilities. The entirety of my expectations on a daily basis is encompassed by this. Enable the expression of my benevolent and selfless character to emanate from within you towards others. Show compassion towards others even when they are undeserving of it. Unconditionally love people. Resolve within yourself, even when faced with the most challenging individuals, that you will wholeheartedly embrace them with love, regardless of their actions, and they will have no power to change this. Love passionately. Express affection abundantly. Embrace love without restraint. Indulge in love extravagantly. Continue to love passionately until you provoke discomfort in those who are unwilling to reciprocate love. May love serve as the scandal that tarnishes your name among the Pharisees and Sadducees, who are ignorant of the profound nature of my love. Express affection without any limitations or conditions. Embrace the transformative power of my love. Make a conscious decision to exhibit my affection for even the most stubborn and challenging individuals in your life when you go out today. Allow my affection to restore the joy in your heart. Embrace love without constraints and relish in the liberation it brings. Witness the astonished expressions of those who want for a renewed sense of love in their existence. The Father demands only one thing from you. I have no interest in the rules, regulations, or religious standards imposed by individuals who consider themselves the custodians of my reputation. I solely contact you with the intention of expressing affection. My affection will generate inside you all the essential qualities and attributes that I desire for your life and personality. Today, God is declaring that you are being liberated from your financial obligations. I have liberated you from all debts and obligations that surpass the boundlessness of my love. You will no longer be influenced by the guilt-inducing manipulations of others who impose their own choices on you based on their own self-perceptions of what you should or should not do. While I have summoned you to embrace humility, it is important to note that this humility is a matter that concerns only you and me. The humility that I have summoned you to must not be encroached upon by those who manipulate and want to exert power over you by accusations. The Father has thoroughly cleansed, purified, and pardoned you. Let go of the past and free yourself from the unjust demands of others. Your previous shortcomings and current challenges do not render you ineligible for my intended course for your future. Each commitment I have made in your existence considers your humanity. Your blessing and destiny are determined by the perfection that I have instilled in you, rather than your ability to meet an unachievable standard. Seek solace in the tranquility of my reprieve from the expectations imposed by others. Be aware that I am currently exerting my influence within you, with the intention of directing your desires and actions towards fulfilling my benevolent intentions. Before the video continues, I request you to help by super thanks. Today, God declares that freedom from fear is an innate entitlement of being in His kingdom. The primary nature of my kingdom is its internal existence before any other aspect. The foundation of my realm consists of righteousness, peace, and joy. The righteousness that I imbue inside you brings you benefits only based on the character and traits of my Son, rather than any other factor. Religious rituals and feelings of guilt do not have any relevance or association with the righteousness of Christ. I exert influence and engage in actions within your life, regardless of your identity or past actions. Align yourself with my righteousness and cease to let a conscience tainted with fear prevent you from receiving my inherent affirmation towards you in life. As you embrace and embody my righteousness, you will discover that I inherently lean towards affirming and granting your requests in all matters. The Father has bestowed upon you the keys. Act responsibly as the caretaker of the affirmative response that fulfills every request and grants you the longings of your heart. Exercise caution when posing inquiries to me that possess a singular solution. Peter did not inquire about my desire for him to walk on water. The individual made a direct request, stating, "If you are instructing me to approach." In response, I, being the one walking on the waves, simply answered to him with the word, "Come." Despite his lack of preparedness, I provided assistance to him in any case. My initial inclination towards you is affirmative, but use caution in the manner and content of your request. Examine my heart and mind and act in accordance with the instructions I quietly convey to you, even throughout the nighttime. Be aware that my happiness will overpower any feelings of despair and sadness. Be aware that my peace will provide guidance and protection for you every day. I will guide you in understanding the principles of existence and help you expand your horizons. Each assault from the adversary will be neutralized and ignored, and you will receive my divine favor, declares the Father, even amidst the difficulty and adversity that confronts you today. Jesus asserts that individuals facing oppression have a distinct choice. They can either resist or assume control. In my teachings, I explicitly said and instructed you to refrain from engaging with evil. Decline to divert your focus towards the issues that the opponent would attempt to distract you with. Your location is determined by the focus of your attention, so avoid giving your attention to the enemy's agenda, as it is their strategic plan. Today, I am providing you with an intense and precise concentration on my kingdom. The foundation of my realm consists of righteousness, peace, and joy. Always direct your attention towards Jesus, since He is the one who initiates and completes your faith. Today, make it your priority to focus on Him. I am actively working in your life, overseeing its development and bringing it to completion, declares the Lord. I am cultivating and strengthening my virtue. In order to achieve that objective, I am dismantling the barriers of skepticism, disbelief, and fear by decompiling them. The Father reassures, do not be afraid. Do not be afraid or discouraged. I am in your presence and I will never abandon or desert you. I perceive those actions that occur in obscurity, and I am aware of the anxieties and troubles that always follow you. I am stationed to safeguard, uphold, and provide solace to you during the night. My celestial beings are designated to provide care and support to you, including the singing of songs during the nighttime. Do not let the enemy prevent you from hearing the comforting and encouraging messages from heaven that are meant to console you throughout your difficult times. Those objects are no match for my limitless elegance. Today, God declares that you are no longer under the control or influence of human beings. The jurisdiction of earthly authorities is derived from me. While individuals may physically cast their votes on election day, I ultimately determine the final result. I establish one and dismantle one. The authorities in power are appointed and authorized according to my plan. While they may possess influence in the realm of nature, it is important to recognize that you are not constrained or obligated to adhere to their plans. You possess the qualities of a principality, power, and authority, and your rule and reign with me commences at this very moment, rather than at a later point in time. Do not be afraid or worried when leaders and rulers deviate and make efforts to free themselves from my control. I have complete control over their hearts, just like I did with Pharaoh, and I can direct them anywhere I choose. Your duty is to vocalize and understand my determined will through prayer, recognizing that the authority rests upon your shoulders. The growth and perpetuity of my governing system and my dominion will be limitless. The words you speak have the power to activate my government in your life, influencing both minor and significant matters. The Father instructs you to open your lips wide, and He will bestow upon you His authoritative grace. I will synchronize the celestial and terrestrial realms within your country, your local area, and even within the confines of your home as you articulate and express my divine intentions. I shall exert my authority to shake and rectify the nations and every governing body, while you carry out the responsibilities of your position inside my reign. Jesus Christ declares that today He has bestowed upon you the status of an overcomer. This is both a position and a process. You are required to collaborate with the methods I use to activate the power and authority that I have bestowed upon you. What is the importance of overcoming? Due to the presence of malevolence on our planet, it is inevitable that at certain moments it will transgress the limits you have set. Are you able to comprehend the intentions and objectives of the adversary? He intends to exploit your defeat as a means to gain access to your loved ones and exploit their vulnerability resulting from your failure. He desires to firmly support you amidst persecution and temptation. When you experience the sensation of pressure, recognize that it is not a random occurrence. There is a malicious intellect driving the pressure you experience, and it is both your duty and entitlement to resist and counteract it. Resisting the devil does not include using empty and wordy language. A significant number of my offspring exhaust their voices by engaging in excessive and meaningless vocalizations. The key to attaining dominance in every situation lies in its simplicity. Conquer malevolence by employing benevolence. When you give in to the enemy's thoughts, emotions, and actions, you become bound to him. Resolve to reject living according to your lower instincts. Recall my previous statement. Let this mindset be present within you. Uphold civility. Opt to direct your attention towards the positive, enjoyable, morally upright, and commendable aspects. The thoughts and contemplations you have in the present will manifest in your future through the actions of your heart. The adversary is aware of this fact, which is why he consistently attempts to divert your focus towards his worthless material. Elevate your consciousness and expand your intellectual capacity today. Engage with my thoughts and have faith in the result I am generating. I serve as your sustenance, safeguard, and conservation. You possess great authority and influence in the world, and you will triumph as you fully dedicate yourself to following my methods and aligning with my character. God advises you to not let your foes to determine the course of your life. Their cuisine and beverages are intended to cause you distress and drive you to flee. The enemy eagerly desires to see you disregarded and underestimated. The adversary takes pleasure in witnessing your decline. Do not allow your critics to derive pleasure from witnessing the anxiety caused by their acts in your life. The Father instructs you to approach every decision with kindness and love, even towards those who intend to harm you. Those who rely on violence will ultimately meet a violent end. Determine within yourself to refrain from retaliating against people who unjustly criticize and defame you. The presence of my love in your heart elevates you to a state of dominance that eliminates all conflicts. By entrusting your adversaries to me, you liberate yourself from the trap they have set in your way. I shall bestow upon them the manifestation of my magnificence. I shall demonstrate my actions and instruct them in my methods, either by one means or another. However, I am unable to proceed until you decide to transcend the trivial, conflict-inducing, fear-driven reactive stance towards individuals who desire something less than your approval. Your Father declares that no one, whether angel, demon, man, or woman, will be permitted to harm you. They would have to confront me first, and that will absolutely not occur. According to God, wrath has a legitimate place in our lives. Not all rage is considered sinful. Anger acts as a barrier between you and the person or thing you are angry at, serving to shield and preserve your well-being and dignity. Feel anger, but refrain from committing sinful actions. Channel your wrath towards that objective, and in doing so, you will effectively protect your borders. I did not contact you with the intention of promoting passivity. Inaction leads to demise. Being passive renders you susceptible to becoming a victim. The Father asserts that you are not a victim. I have ensured that you have the necessary resources and support to not only achieve victory, but to surpass it. Therefore, use discretion in utilizing your anger only when it is essential and appropriate. It is important to acknowledge that you are a cherished individual, recognized as a divine offspring by heaven. They will ask you, "I thought you identified as a Christian." Declare your response as, "Not adhering to that particular type of Christian." I have summoned you to resist those individuals and circumstances that serve as instruments of the adversary to dishearten and subjugate you. I now provide you the power and authorization to assertively decline and refuse any further requests or demands. The Father asserts that he will continue the task independently. The act of sacrificing one's life is the fundamental requirement of the crucifixion at Calvary, rather than the arbitrary and unkind behavior of a mocking individual. I will assist you in discerning the distinctions and providing guidance between the realms of opposites and the emotions of fury and revenge. The Father declares a desire for revenge. Retribution is a prerogative that I exclusively reserve for myself and entails planting and harvesting. My compassion is accessible to you, and even to those who are not inclined to show compassion, as I have a deep affection for those who are considered unattractive or unlovable. However, I have limited patience for people who slander, scorn, and oppress my children. Regarding that matter, I shall engage them in other activities. The Father encourages you to remain optimistic and find joy. I am your safeguard and shield, ensuring your safety and conservation today.